2024 has been very strange for royal watching, and this week is no exception because I would argue that we have two of the dumbest royal articles that I've seen this whole year on the Daily Mail. One is about an AI image of Harry and Meghan's children. The other one talking about how Meghan Markle was apparently the first royal ever to start wearing burgundy. Like she started the trend, even though Catherine wore it to Christmas in like 2012. It was Meghan Markle first. It is just so asinine and ridiculous. However, I think the AI piece and the AI images of Archie and Lilibet is worthy of discussion for one very simple reason is that it's sort of silly that these things exist at all, but it's the result of something that Harry and Meghan have done since conceiving their child, which is play games with the media and the public. You play stupid games, you will win stupid prizes. And Harry and Meghan are a great example of that because these type of pictures don't really exist for Catherine and William and their children. They simply don't. Why? Because we actually see their kids. But Harry and Meghan like to do this tit for tat where they show the kids and then don't show the kids and then get mad that people see the kids and then hide the kids and don't want people to see the kids. Like these weird games that they play are to the severe detriment of their own children. Because I don't know how all of this will play out in the end, but I really don't think any of these media games, any of these games with the public are ever going to help Archie or Lilibet. So we are going to go into this very briefly today at the very tail end of 2024. But if you haven't been to Royal News Network before, hello, my name is Brittany and I provide compelling royal commentaries. If you want to hit that subscribe button, I would love to have you back. We have an amazing, fun time here. But let's get into this video. I want to keep this pretty brief. Although I will say, if you guys are liking my jewelry, especially my cross necklace here, and I also have my 7-stone eternity band, which I absolutely love. I pair it with my Tiffany & Co ring. So if you guys like any of these pieces, these are from Ana Lucia Diamonds. So if you're at a New Year's Eve party and you're like, at the end of the day, you're like thinking to yourself, I want a little sparkle in my life. Ana Lucia can definitely offer that to you. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, feel free to follow the link up above. You'll find some amazing pieces there. I love all the pieces from Ana Lucia that I have. I wear especially my studs like all the time. Need to change them out here in a bit, but guys, I absolutely love them. So if you're interested, feel free to check out the link up above. So this video is going to be rather quick, but I just found it really interesting. So let's look at a article from the New York Post because sometimes the Daily Mail is a bit of a craziness to deal with. But we have this strange picture of Archie and Lilibet, obviously created by somebody in AI. I don't know if it was from Harry and Meghan stans. They claim it was from pro-royalty people. It could be definitely from Harry and Meghan stans. I honestly don't care. I think the whole thing is, in fact, very, very silly. But that it exists at all is really, really weird because this shouldn't exist. It's strange. It's bizarre. Why is it even here? And I put that at the feet of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Like I said in the intro, they have played games from the beginning with their children. Meghan Markle played it when she was pregnant, showing off the baby bump, clutching it constantly. And yes, Catherine touched her bump from time to time, but Meghan Markle two-handed death gripped it as if she was carrying the Messiah at points. She was so obsessed with the bump. It caused people to unnaturally focus on it because she wanted them to. It's actually the whole reason the surrogacy rumors exist is because Meghan Markle was so obsessed with showing people that she was pregnant. People started to think she wasn't pregnant because when you overdo it, when you overdo the whole thing, people think it's fake. And nobody told her to do that. Catherine never did that. Nobody in the royal sphere would tell her, oh yeah, two-hand death grip it as if you are the first woman ever to carry a child. That is what's going to sell your pregnancy to the public. That's what's going to garner you support and love and everything like that. No. Nobody was telling her to do that. They all thought it was weird. All the press thought it was weird. Everyone thought it was strange. But Meghan Markle just, for some inexplicable reason, really felt the need to make a big show out of the pregnancy. And again, it led to rumors that she wasn't pregnant at all because you make people focus so much on it. If there's any weird inconsistency, people are going to obsess over it because you started it. You didn't act normal in your pregnancy. Everyone picked up on that and everybody obsessed over it to your own detriment. And then we have the birth. I go back to this time and time again, but it's so important. Harry and Meghan lied about when Meghan went into labor, lied about when she gave birth at first, so they could have like some sort of secret thing. And what it has resulted in is fueling the surrogacy rumors even more. The surrogacy rumors were already there. Harry and Meghan lying, playing games around her birth. All of a sudden, they seem to confirm them. And we told them to do that. And then we get this whole thing of Harry and Meghan having this weird line of, well, we want our children to be private. Hey, that's your right. I get that. But then also, you show your kids, then don't show your kids. Then you talk about your kids, but say, oh, no, no, people can't talk about my kids. It's like this weird game that they like to play. And it doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help them. It does not help their children. And the game sort of didn't end. We got one video with Archie when he turned 1 where he was like, I would argue like basically they showed him in his pajamas and like with like it was just so like it was too casual to the point where it just seemed weird. And then we get the thing of, well, you can see our kid but not see our kid. Like one of their Christmas pictures, they had it sort of in a painting style. So you could see him but not see him. And my thought was, it's like, are you trying to hide the fact that his hair is might be like auburn, but it's not like hairy red? I don't know because it's just weird because they seem to equate that. And then you get their other Christmas card, which was obviously a bit photoshopped. And you get side images of their kids, back images of their kids. Like they've done this thing time and time again where they show them and don't show them. And then their own fans even get mad when you talk about their kids. They're like, oh, you're talking about their kids, you're attacking their kids. Like, no, they have created this weird situation around their children, which is totally avoidable if they had done sort of the normal things, which is like do the presentation after birth or just simply don't lie to the press. I don't even know why they had to even say she was in labor after she had given birth because it was so early in the morning. They could have just gone home and then told everybody, hey, she gave birth. Why lie in the first place? Because once you lie, you set a precedence of you're not trustworthy. You're not trustworthy in what you're telling people. And people read into that a lot. And we're seeing this a lot now with their kids and the creation of this AI image. Why? Because Harry and Meghan, again, they're playing games. They put a picture on their Christmas card of their kids, a corporate Christmas card. By the way, it's not meant to be personal, it's corporate. And what they did though is they had such a degraded image. People are thinking, well, they're not standing right. They have too many limbs. Like there's all sorts of little things people are nitpicking. My stance on the picture has been is that I think it was taken from real far away on something like an iPhone. And when you try to blow up the image, it becomes pretty degraded, to be quite honest, or they purposely degraded the image. And what that has led to is speculation. Once again, that they are faking their kids, that they don't have kids, that the kids, the dogs, or some combination thereof were digitally added into the picture. The Archie is somehow the same size as Lilibet, which is, I think, a perspective issue. She's closer to the frame, he's further away, which can cause a distortion in the perspective of heights. But all these things, because they have been weird about things, people read into it too much. And I lay that at the feet of Harry and Meghan. I lay that at the feet. They have utilized their kids in a media game. And the result is that, yes, people talk about your kids. Yes, you could even say, hey, isn't it great? People are creating AI images of our kids because they're so interested in seeing them. But yet at the same time, I think, are you helping your children? How will this impact your kids a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 10 years from now? How will this impact them? Because I'm sorry, but I think this is going to have the worst impact on their children. People think their kids don't exist. People think they rent them. People think that there are issues with their kids, and that's why they're not showing them. And that is a Harry and Meghan created problem. I'm sorry, but it is. If you were just normal, and what I mean by that is if you are going to show your kids to the public, which Harry and Meghan have full faced and in a couple of occasions, then you have to stick to that. And you can say things about them from time to time, but sort of just keep them out of the limelight, show a picture of them from time to time, but sort of try to walk a careful balance. I get that. The Waleses do that. Other royal families do that. You can do that and be normal about it. Do you know why people don't think the Waleses kids are fake? Because we see them. Same thing with Spain, with the Netherlands, with Sweden, with Norway. Like all these royal kids have grown up in the spotlight, been mostly fine, been mostly, you could say, perfectly okay. And the public is able to see them when it is appropriate and not in other places. You can totally manage that. That this delusion that Harry and Meghan had that you can't, that somehow Meghan believes she would be stalked to and from school if they had stayed in the UK. I'm sorry, it's complete bupkis. The only time Catherine and William have been, you could say, been photographed taking their kids to school are when there is a big news story breaking, like the Queen passing away or something like that. Otherwise, the press is like, we understand it's hands off. So, number one, that is a complete and total falsehood. But they could also stay with their belief that, hey, we don't want to show anybody our kids. We want our kids to be totally private. Ergo, we will not share any pictures of them. We will hardly ever talk about them. Certain celebrities have done that, like Riley Cano, who's a granddaughter of Elvis Presley. Like it wasn't revealed that she had had a child via surrogate until people saw the child. Other than that, she didn't really talk about being a mom and those sorts of things because she wants the focus to be on her work. Actors who are good actors or people who are within the industry that don't really want the focus to be on their kids, they don't talk about their kids much. The people who are more than willing to, let's say, exploit their children for attention are more willing to share their children. Now, that's not entirely the case in terms of their purpose behind it, but those who are more willing to have their children be, let's say, public facing figures, they have managed their children's lives in different ways. Now, that's not 100% the case, but you do see a distinction there. You do see a distinction. Harry and Meghan want to play this game where you can see our kids and not see our kids when it's convenient for them. But because they have lied, because they played games from the point of conception, Meghan's cupping her bump when she looks like she just had a big breakfast burrito. It causes people to overreact to things. And because of the precedents Harry and Meghan have set, people create silly things like AI images of their kids. Now, I don't care whether it was a Sussex stan or a royal stan or whatever. That somebody created this, I think, is just a tad silly. But Harry and Meghan could have avoided this entirely by just being normal. Just being normal. Then you don't have to deal with this. There's not really AI images of George, Charlotte, and Louis. Why? Because we see them. Why? Because there's no reason to. Catherine and William are not playing games. They have told us we can see them at particular times. Other times they remain private. Everybody respects that. Nobody really has an issue with that. Harry and Meghan could do the same thing. But no, they want to play it, I don't know, weirdly. They want to try to, I think, have an element of control where really when you're at this level, an element of control just simply doesn't exist. And if you want your kids to remain private, perfectly fine. Just don't talk about them. Just don't talk about them. And guess what? They can be private that way. But you've made other decisions and you end up with weird things like this. And this is not going to go away. It might even just get worse over time. And again, I think of will the ramifications be on their kids? Will their kids go to school and people are shoving AI images on their face going, oh, look what people are creating about you. Like, I feel like Harry and Meghan have set their kids up for failure. And I just cannot think but how incredibly sad that is, that it was more important for them to play media games than it was to do the best thing for their children. And I understand they started their life with their kids in the royal family and there's certain expectations there. I believe, and I've said there's sort of a social contract if you are a working royal, that in order to have this enormous privilege, and because your children are part of the institution and sometimes getting things like security or homes funded for them and those sorts of things, it's kind of part of your role to share your kids with the world. And how great is it that an entire world and an entire country is highly invested in seeing your kids grow up, seeing your kids be successful? That is what royals experience. But Harry and Meghan, they decided they didn't want that. Hey, that's fine. But don't play games. Stop it with the nonsense. If you do the normal thing, guess what? Most of this controversy will actually go away. Every time they show a distorted image like they did on their Christmas card, it just fuels the fake kid surrogacy rumors even more. And maybe that's what Meghan Markle wants. But again, if she really cares about her children, why would you want to fuel that? Why would you want to sort of give fuel to that fire that already exists? I don't understand. I don't understand how it helps her children. So, guys, that is just my quick thoughts on it. I just thought that was so strange and bizarre, but very Harry and Meghan. But, guys, I want to get your thoughts. Let me know in the comments down below. Happy 2025, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye.